Thanks everyone for joining us again, and thanks to Charlie and Harvey. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. As I've said to all the other guys, this is an opportunity for the supporters to get to know you all a little bit better. That obviously they know you from last season and spells before, Charlie. The fans would have seen you a little bit, Harvey, in the under-18s, and a little bit last season, wasn't there? There was a few games last season, and then mostly this season. So we'll start with you, Harvey. Because, like I say, the fans have seen you playing under-18 football, and was it one game? Was it Boldmere, St Michael you played against? Who was it? Was it? Yeah. Yeah, that game didn't go too well, did it? And then, but none of them did they? So, what sort of positions do you like to play, and how do you like to play the game?
My favourite position is obviously centre midfield, but I'm pretty versatile. Play a few positions with Dereham and under-18s. But yeah, my main is in the 10 or in the 8.
Okay, because you played with number 8 on your back in the last game, didn't you, against Long Melford, and that went really, really close to scoring your first goal as well. Some save from the keeper that. We've seen you obviously playing at left back quite a lot. I think most teams struggle for left backs, don't they? And Dereham historically have always struggled to have a left back. Is it a position you've found easy, or you seem to have fallen into it quite effortlessly?
Yeah, it's not easy, but I don't mind playing left back. It's just a struggle sometimes because you sometimes get bullied, but you're always 1v1 against someone. But in midfield, you're always challenging everyone, really.
Are you predominantly a right-footed player as well, are you? Oh, you're left-footed? Oh, only left-footed though? Yeah. Oh, okay. I suppose that makes it slightly easier, but... I can use both. But Stuart Pearce said when he was at left-back, he could play centre-half and he could play left-back really easily, but because the angles are so different, he said he was like a Sunday League right-back when he turned up and playing for England doing it. So it is difficult to make that swap, isn't it? And Charlie, obviously, you've spoken before about you like being the number 9, you see yourself as a number 9. How do you think this season's gone for you in that position? Because you've been mostly working on your own as a...
we started off with a bunch of new players and we were all trying to find each other's feet, really. I'll find my own feet in the number 9 again with a new team. So we all know the start of the year wasn't ideal for me personally, but we've really, I think, past kind of 3 months, we've really started to play a different way. And I've always been more of a dynamic number 9 as opposed to someone who always gets it to feet. I think it's shown with the output in the last few months, it's been a bit better. Yeah. So certainly improved in the season and hopefully continues.
Because obviously fitness is a big part of your life anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
With your job and everything. So, obviously you seem to be one of those sort of players who puts a lot of effort in, who really presses high and puts a lot of pressure on the centre halves. We tried playing that way a little bit last season as well, but how would you find that approach comparing the 2 seasons?
I think it's a commitment to it as well, isn't it? I think we've got a lot more players this season who are fully committed to that press, whereas last season, because we were so worried about conceding, people didn't want to do it as much. Okay. But again, we always say it in the change rooms as well before the games. Me and Spoon have played each other for 4 years at uni anyway, so we know how to press as a 2. And as long as we've got that backup for everyone else, I think it proves we win the ball quite high, and then we can find success from that.
One of the questions I've asked a lot of the other players in these interviews is how important partnerships on the pitch are. So you sort of led into that a little bit well there. You've obviously played with Spooner quite a lot, and you've spoken about that partnership. Have you had to create other partnerships?
Yeah, 100%. I think me and Butts have created quite a nice partnership from him being on the left as well. He's starting to understand where I want the ball. Yeah. And I'm starting to understand that I've got to leave him be a lot of the time because he will just take 2, 3, and sometimes 4 people on. Yeah. That's what he enjoys doing. And then I play with Logie at times as well. And we've had a good partnership. And whenever Northie's playing high up the pitch, I can play with anyone really. But certainly they're starting to develop a lot more now, and we're starting to come into our stride towards the end of the season as a team. So it's quite nice. So
you've played quite a few teams around Norfolk as well, haven't you? So. Last time we spoke on your last interview you'd done, you had a spell here after coming back from America. Yeah. And then there was a lot of opportunities opened up to you. Yeah. You ended up settling in Norfolk. I think you played for Wroxham, CBS.
Yeah, went to Wroxham and then from there to Stowmarket, from there to Norwich United, CBS, and then here.
So you must have known, obviously the Wroxham lads you knew quite well.
Yeah.
Because they were there at the same time. But from Norwich United, I'm guessing.
Yeah, knew all the lads apart from Pitch really, who I wasn't too familiar with before here. But apart from that, knew all the lads, played with them, all good blokes, and
So you're used to playing with, you know, playing alongside Buttle and Spooner. So they're
Butts as well, to be fair. Butts I hadn't met yet, but he's
And for yourself, this is probably your first foray into men's football, I'm guessing, at this level.
Yeah, at this level.
Yeah. So how have you found? Because you've played in a couple of different positions, like we said. How have you found the link up, or you know, getting into the squad?
I enjoyed it really well because there's a lot of competition as well. So you have to fight for your place, but in under 18s you don't really have to fight for your place. You know you've got your spot sometimes, so it's better to be in a men's environment to find your place really. So I've enjoyed it. It's a challenge.
So you played your strongest position as central midfielder in the Long Melford game. And you played alongside Max Melanson in that one, didn't you? Max is obviously a big presence on the pitch, isn't he? And he's a good ball winner. He's also really strong technically, isn't he? How did you find that? You know, working with him, how did you find that partnership on the day?
No, I think it went really well because he's obviously experienced in midfield and at that level. So it's good to listen off him and learn off him because he's obviously done it a few years here. So it's good to learn from him and just get better, really.
Because central midfield again is something that, you know, squads don't generally have a huge amount of committed central midfielders within their squad. So it's handy having someone like yourself who's happy playing in that number 8, you know, to fall back on if you need. But you know, if you look at our squad, we've got people like Mac G and Lakey and Gascoigne and Max who can comfortably work in those positions. But like you say, do you find that competition a good thing?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a really good thing because it just makes you work harder and like try and impress the manager so you get your spot. And once you've got your spot, you just got to take it really, which I think I did in Melford. But just got to see what happens.
Well, a lot of their fans, you know, picked you out as having a really good game in that one. And I suppose it's good having a left-footed central midfielder as well, isn't it? Yeah, because they're, you know, from the football I've seen and played in, that is quite a rare thing, having someone who can play in the 8 with a predominantly a left foot as well. So for you, Charlie, obviously when we started the season, we had Campbell playing up front as well. There wasn't a great deal of time when you were like a front 2 together. Sometimes you drifted out wide, didn't you?
That's a shame. It's a shame because I think we would have liked to try it at some point, but it just didn't really fit with what we're trying to do really at that time. As I say, you know, you've got a team of 16, 17 new players. It takes time to find that groove. So I think we're finally finding it. But yeah, it's one of those things at the start of the season. It was if he's scoring, he was playing, which he was, and I wasn't at that time, so I was on the bench. But you just got to wait your turn and do your best.
I suppose you've sort of answered this question already because about partnerships with you and Brad. You say you didn't. It's a shame you didn't get to have like a proper front 2 because Brad sort of sits a bit deeper and supports you from like a 10 position, a deeper 10 position, doesn't he? If you had to choose, would you rather be part of a 2 or are you more comfortable being a one man up front?
Probably more used to being a number 9 on my own, but the front 3 is always quite interchangeable, especially if you're pressing high and you see Saturday ended up on the wing for about a 2-minute period at times, just doing someone's defensive job, and then if you get on the break, you've got Butts or Logie who are class down the middle as well. But yeah, just kind of on my own on that 9. But you see it when we change to a 5 at the back and we have 2 behind me instead, and that works really well as well. So
it's the modern way, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I think most professional teams, and I think most of the teams in this league, you see very rarely. I can only think about Down and Market off the top of my head who play with a set.
And that's 'cause we've got
2 up front.
Got 2 very good players in behind. So
So America, then you went to America when you were in Harvey's place years ago. Quite a few years ago. You've just come back from a spell in Vegas, haven't you? How did that go?
Oh no, really well. Enjoyed it. It's a good tour. I obviously went last year as well, which was really good. It's really good just to get used to American football, really, because obviously I'm going over there in July. So it's just a good experience to get.
So whereabouts in America are you going to go to?
Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to Texas. Yeah.
Pretty big place, that.
Yeah, I know. It's a big place. Yeah.
Are you going to one of the major cities or one of the major universities or colleges? Or?
I think I'm going near Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, near there, and then it's around a few cities as well. So but I only want to be there for like 2 years and then hopefully get a transfer.
So you're not going to do what Charlie Dixon's done and spend the rest of his life there, sort of thing, like?
No, I don't know yet. See where it takes me.
Well, I'll see what happens when you get
exactly,
there. But I think you went to, was it one of the Carolinas or somewhere in the south, wasn't it?
Yeah, well? Tennessee.
Tennessee,
yeah. So I spent 4 years Tennessee. They're quite a small private one. Well, it's not. I don't think it's the same conference or league as I call it, for, as Gilly. But no, really enjoyed it there. Wouldn't change it for anything really. I know Gilly's going to do really well up there. He's got physicality for it. Yeah. By far, technically gifted, so he'll do really well.
So, but it's not all about the football having these sort of opportunities as well. It's about life skills and all that sort of thing as well. Because I think Lakey's been to America as well.
Yeah, Lakey's been as well. Yeah.
There's probably loads down there that have been to America, aren't there? That will be able to,
about 4 or 5.
Yeah, they'll be able to share their experiences with you. Is that something the guys talk to you about? Or?
Yeah, mainly Charlie. Well, Charlie and a few others really. They just tell me how good it is, and like it gives you so many opportunities of like what you want to do. So I don't know what I want to do yet after, obviously, Desert and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it'll be a good experience to like know what I want to do really.
I can't think of anyone who's out of the people I've spoken to who've come back and said that was an awful experience. I got nothing out of it. So it's all positive, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think the arrangements that get made for you are really good, aren't you? You can trust a lot of people that are out there and everything. And if all these guys are coming back and playing a good standard of football here and speaking positively of it, it sounds like a really good opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of the supporters are jealous, to be honest with you. None of these opportunities are around for us. But so after America, you say you haven't decided what you want to do, but do you always want to be involved in football at some stage or another?
Yeah, no, definitely I want to carry on playing football. Try to get as high as I can, but I don't know whether it's out there or out here. Yeah. I don't know really. So I've just got to make the decision once I've been in America, see which one I enjoy most, and that will just take me wherever really.
Are you doing any other sort of academic stuff out there as well?
Yeah, I'm doing like general studies because I don't have a clue what I'm going to do yet. So that's what I'm going to do, general studies, and then just see after a year, see what I want to do. Yeah. And just focus on that really.
That was the same as me really. I didn't know what I was going to do, and one day I'll figure it out. I'm 44 next year, and I'll let you know. But because you work in education anyway as well, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you come across young players who
quite a few.
Who get to that point where they don't know whether to continue in sport or go into academia?
Yeah, it's in quite a nice position really from that front really. So I've had 2 lads from Helston where I work who have been interested in DESA and CSF and other programs that offer those opportunities. Yeah. It's quite nice to kind of pass those on and pass down my knowledge and my experience of it so I can help them out as much as I can really. Okay. So it's quite a nice position I'm in from that front. Excellent.
Well, sounds like yet again you're surrounded by good people and good voices. There's other people in education in the squad as well, isn't there?
Yeah, Rizzo's PE teacher as well. Yeah. Obviously Tosi teaches DESA.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone else. I think so.
Sounds like you've got a good group of people around you to offer you sound advice as well, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So moving on from that then, this season playing, Charlie first, you've talked a little bit about how it was different last year compared to this year. How do you think this season's gone compared to your expectations at the beginning of the season?
I think it's one of those where we're in a position before the Norwich United lads came in where we weren't panicking by any means, but we're at a point where we're like, who are we actually going to get in? Who's left who we can contact? Mm-hmm. And then we had the influx of those Norwich United lads, and they've made such a big difference to the expectations and our goals for the season. Yeah. And everyone's played their part, but I think having those lads in has been instrumental in raising those expectations and trying to reach the goal of promotion, which I think was always the idea. Yeah. Any club that comes down or gets relegated wants to go straight back up. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of been the expectation. We're sitting in third today, I think it is at the moment.
We're sitting in third. Yeah, if results go away, we could be in second. Yeah.
If we win our games in hand, we're comfortably in second. Yeah, we finish second. So, I think can ask more really. Ideally, you want to win the league, but again, I said at the start, we've got 16, 17 new players. Start of the season, you've got to be realistic with those expectations. Yeah. And I think we'd have snatched your hand if we thought we'd finish second at the end of the season and have the chance to get in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think we're sitting right where we need to be, really. And
yeah, I think as a team and as a club, you're probably right. Personal aspirations, though, are you happy with the stats you've returned this season?
Overall, yeah. This is the first year I've properly tracked what I've been putting out. So I think I'm on 15 assists and 13 goals overall. Excellent, yeah. Across all competitions. So I'd like to have been at least 20 goals by the end of the season. If I get there, we'll see. But yeah, it's one of those where I had a poor start of the season, if I'm being honest, and I've kind of picked it up. So yeah, just kind of keep going, keep putting in good performance, getting in the areas to score, and see what happens.
Well, from a supporter's perspective, what generally gets talked about when we discuss you is You know, that relentless effort. We talked about fitness and everything that obviously helps you, but you've got that sort of mentality, haven't you, where you constantly want to be involved in the game. You work very hard off the ball, don't you? Which is, you know, people who just watch football on telly don't often see that. But if you come to a game and watch a player like you, then you can see that the work rate. You're not on your own. There's other people who are obviously working hard on the ball off the ball around you. But that to me and to a few of the fans who saw you last year is the area where we think there's been an improvement. I think what you said about the press not being there last season might be a contributing factor. But
that for me, I always think my work rate is unquestionable, kind of thing. I'll always put me all into every game I play. So that's one thing that any manager, any player, any fan could expect from me, is that I'll always put me all into it. But as you say, last year, at times collectively we kind of lose our way as a team. But can't be said this season really. And we've always got that press on. We're always trying to chase the ball, get it back. As soon as we do, especially now, we're trying to, as I say, we're finding our stride. We've really started to push on and make things happen from when we win the ball up high. So that's the reason to press. You know, win the ball high, score, make it easy for yourselves instead of chasing the ball for half an hour.
And obviously the teams you're playing against are a completely different kettle of fish to what you played against last year, aren't they? As well, teams literally weren't letting you come onto them, were they? They weren't letting you work off the ball. It was recycled a lot quicker, wasn't it?
Yeah, so there's a lot more long ball in step 4, especially in that Midlands League, where they are all just a bunch of meatheads, but very, very good at it. And they know what they're doing now to win games. As I say, we've had to change our tactics every now and then to win games this season, and I think that's something we could have done more last season. But again,
but our points return last season would have kept us up this season.
That's the thing, isn't it? But you know, it's if and buts, isn't it?
Yeah. So Harvey, about this season, how do you think your season's gone this season?
I think it's gone all right. I think I could be a bit more consistent. I feel like sometimes I can either be really good, or I can just be bad, just have an off day. But I think that's just my age, really. You get more consistent when you get older. But I think once I get the consistency, I'll be a better player. I think nerves is a key factor as well, because I get nervous. I don't know why, because I know I can do it, but it's just sometimes just gets in the way of it, and then I'll underperform, I think.
Yeah, I know there's it's a cricket term, but the Australians in cricket call it white line fever. They say they're very nervous and they're a different person. Then they cross that boundary rope and they're a completely different person when they're on the pitch, because you don't look like someone who suffers from nerves when you're playing. Is it literally when that whistle goes, you're in your comfort zone now, this is what you want to be doing? And because I think your consistency, well, it hasn't been something that people have highlighted, especially in the stands, but when you take into account that you've already said you're a central midfielder, that's what you want, that's where you feel strongest. We've seen you in the under-18s play wide and up front quite a lot, haven't we, playing in that centre-forward role a little bit. And then in your first team, the majority of games this season, you played at left-back. So even though you want to be consistent, I'd say you shouldn't be so hard on yourself a little bit, because you're playing in a left-back position, which we've already discussed how that can be really difficult. Just in isolation, it's a nuanced position almost, isn't it? But bearing all that in mind, you know, the fact that you've had to play mostly as a left-back, do you think that your time as a left-back has been a success?
I think I've done well, considering, I do, I think I could have improved in a few games. I had a bad game against Mulbarton, but that was about it, really.
Mate, he's done really well. For a 17-year-old to come in and, you know, be man of the match in quite a few games, I think that he's played, he's been class. Yeah. You're going to make mistakes when you're young. Of course you are. But he's reacted to every single mistake he's made really, really well. He's had support from experienced players, as every player does when they're coming through the ranks in football, but no, it's been unbelievable. He's set himself in good stead for when he goes away. Yeah,
I mean, I completely agree with what Charlie said. I think you're obviously a very good, technically gifted player. Like you said, you've got that left foot as well, which most players statistically don't have. But if you do make a mistake, I imagine in the group that you've got, it must be all right knowing that you've got these guys that'll have your back, not just to mop up after you on the pitch, but also to say, come on, we're all right here, and all that sort of thing. That encouragement, and that team ethic, it really does come across to people who are watching a game, that camaraderie and that team ethic that you guys have.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we're quite a close group, to be fair, considering we're not really known each other that long, but we all want to win and do well with each other. So if someone makes a mistake, they're just always supportive. So it's really good, really.
Well, like I say, because everyone who works on the committee, we're all fans first, aren't we? Everyone who's involved with the club, we're all supporters of this football club first, and we've had I don't think I've heard a bad word about either of you, or about any of the lads either. You know, this season, like Charlie says, is where we wanted to be. There've been bumps along the road, but of course you have. It's football, isn't it? It's sport. You know, you'll have that. But I think you mentioned. I'm only saying this because you mentioned consistency, but in my opinion, I think your consistency has been spot on. I think you've maintained. You started off at a really high level, and then maintained that level all the way through. And the fact that you've had to change positions away from your comfort zone, I think, is, you know, all credit to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, well, in America, what position were you playing in America? Did you say?
I'm going out there as like
in Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas at 10.
Oh,
10,
okay.
Yeah,
so yet another position you've had to play for, and you still had a good tour out there as well, didn't you?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, really good.
Good. Well, you're both quite glad to know that's the end of all the football questions. You haven't got to think technically about anything else. I'm sure you're both dreading what comes next. This is when you can be nervous if you want, Harvey. All right. So what we'll do first is I'll get the manager's questions out, and then we'll get the manager's questions out, and then we'll have the quiz. Before we do that, Harvey, you can go first this time. Is there a message you want to give the supporters?
And just thank you for supporting and turning up every week. Coming like Long Melford away, 2 games in 2 days. You're travelling far every day, and you're coming and supporting, always cheerful and getting us along, which helps. I think definitely helps. Yeah, so thank you, fans.
Well, I think your performances help us as well. So it's a two-way street, mate. But nice one, Charlie.
Yeah, just what Harv said. Really, it's just been a pleasure to have such strong backing the whole season. We did last season, but it's grown even more. Obviously, you get when you win games, you get more fans along. But no, it's been absolutely brilliant. Just keep the faith and keep going to the end, because I know that, you know, if we concede and we're struggling a bit, if you guys behind us, it helps massively. So it's really nice to have.
Well, keeping the faith isn't something we're short of.
Yeah, no,
you
exactly.
know, you saw, like you said, when we went to the Midlands every week, we take 20 odd people every week, weren't we?
Yeah.
And all the parties we put on the coach and everything. It was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right then. So that's the easy bit done. I've had the text from Toast for you as well now, Harv.
Okay. So
don't worry. Last minute, Toasty Park again. So I haven't had a chance to proofread yours, so I'll go to Clarke's first. Okay, question for Clarke, it says. Yep. What's the biggest challenge for you? Buying around or scoring a goal?
Buying around, I'll say. Of late, if it started the season, I'd say scoring a goal, but now it's...
So you've got less than 13 rounds in during this whole season so far?
Probably always last night showers, that's why. When I come out of the shower and Rizzo or Spins would have got me a pint.
Oh.
But no, probably that. Got a kid as well, so you know.
That tactical thing is because you're always the last one out.
Not a clean that. I clean my boots in the shower, so go with that. Take the time.
With knowing there's going to be a pint waiting for you.
Sort of speaker out, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mother hen in the group, aren't I?
I suppose.
Definitely buying around as opposed to scoring a goal.
You get that a lot from people who don't buy rounds. It's just a list of excuses. Don't fall into that trap, mate. All right, question for Harv. Much shorter question. I'll leave it up to you if you answer this.
Yeah.
Did you fall in love in Vegas?
I'm not going to answer it.
Okay,
Yeah,
no worries.
comment.
I went to Vegas and I didn't fall in love in Vegas, so you know, it's fair enough. All right, happy days. So I'm sure Toasty will be very disappointed that he didn't answer that question, but he's not here, is he?
Yeah, I thought that question was going to come up.
Good answer. Good answer. It's fine.
All right. So now the bit that you both said before that you were dreading, which is the quiz. So what the guys said to me at the beginning, as soon as Charlie walked through the door, he said that bit at the end, we're going to be the worst at this. So again, made excuses already. Classic round
No
one buyer.
excuses, mate.
All right. So I'll let Harvey pick first.
Go on,
Which
Harvey.
one do you want, mate?
For pink.
Ooh, I know what's in that one. There you go.
Give that one.
Okay, mate. Right. Chug us yours, Harv.
Oh.
Try and sneak a look at that. I'll set up. You can have 30 seconds.
Oh.
And I'll ask you a question, and you just got to name as many as you can.
Yeah,
all right?
all right.
Are we allowed any help from each other, or
No, absolutely not.
Sorry, mate.
And reading this, I'm not sure if you'd be any good anyway.
Probably not. That's a good
Oh,
point.
God.
So just out of interest, what year were you born in?
2005.
Okay. So this is a question from 1930.
All right.
All right. So this is going to be, can you name as many teams that were in the first ever World Cup? Well, I'm going to give you a quick clue, all right?
Okay.
I'm not sure if this will help you or not. There were some teams that literally missed the ship and didn't turn up.
All right.
Because logistics was poor in 1930.
Okay.
I'll accept those as an answer.
Yeah, all right.
There was a team that turned up and decided they didn't want to play. I'll
Yeah.
accept them as an answer.
All right.
And there was a team that literally rung in the week before and said, we're not sending a team. I'll accept them as an answer.
All right, okay.
All right. Does that help you?
Yeah.
Right,
I
okay.
think I have to go with
And
the big
the-
names and just see if
And
they're
there's
right or not.
also countries in here that are no longer countries.
All right, okay.
So they're not one of them. So this isn't an answer. But for instance, if the USSR was an answer, that's not a country anymore.
Yeah, all right.
So there are countries like that in here.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, mate. 3, 2, 1, go.
England,
Nope.
France,
Yep.
Argentina,
Yep.
Italy,
Nope.
Wales,
Nope.
Scotland,
Nope.
Belgium.
Yep.
Good.
Keep round.
Oh my God.
Just
10
countries.
seconds
Just
to go.
countries.
It's gone up my head.
Come on. Who keeps winning the World Cup? Come on.
Oh, I
Said
said
that.
Argentina.
Said- yeah.
Germany,
No.
Spain.
Time's up.
Oh,
I was trying to hit you to
that's
say
bad.
Brazil, but it's
I don't know. My football knowledge is bad.
Oh, I know. But you're joint bottom, so at least you're not bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
alright,
you
at
got
least
3
I'm not
there.
bottom.
Well done.
Yeah. And don't be the excuse man, because Andy Easter was the other excuse man.
Alright.
He got 3 and then blamed the question.
Oh, that's all right.
At least you haven't blamed the question.
He does buy a lot of rounds, to be fair.
Do you want me to read out the teams that are in there?
Yeah,
Just so
go
you
on.
know for next time someone
Yeah,
asks you. So you got Argentina and Belgium, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Egypt, they're the ones that missed the ship. France, you said. Japan, they just withdrew, they rung up and withdrew. Mexico, Paraguay, Peru, Romania, Siam, which is Thailand now. They didn't bother to turn up either. USA, Uruguay, and Yugoslavia. That's
Yeah,
not
I was
country,
definitely not getting any of them.
Right.
You're safe.
Yeah.
Well, I know you haven't watched any more of these interviews back in the past.
Yeah.
Jordan, just so you know, Jordan Bottle got asked a question about teams that were in the Japan-South Korea World Cup,
Yeah.
which probably would have been better for you.
Yeah.
And he didn't name Japan or South Korea.
Oh.
So at least you didn't shame yourself there.
Yeah.
Right then, so
What on earth is this?
this is the easier one.
Is it?
Right, yeah.
Right.
So there's a good chance here. I think it's 15, isn't it, Geordie? 15 we've got to beat, so you've got to get 16 of these. I think you're putting yourself down, and I think you'll be all right. So Charlie Clarke has got 30 seconds to name an answer, more than one every 2 seconds to win it, to name as many La Liga teams as you can this year.
Okay. All
Right. So because you're Charlie Clarke, one of our own, I'll give you a couple of seconds to have a think. I'm sure the fans would appreciate that.
right. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Barcelona.
Yeah.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid. Sevilla.
Yeah.
Real Betis.
Yep.
This is where I'm done in. Told you, mate. Ball knowledge is poor.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. Come on, mate. Stick to that Real
terrible.
theme.
I know, that's what I'm thinking of. Real Sociedad.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. 6. That puts you.
Not last, I'll take it.
Oh, not last. Well, you definitely would be hard.
Yeah, not long.
All right then. So it was teams you could have had was you'll have heard of all these: Alaves, Almira, Athletic Club, Atletico Madrid. You got Barcelona, Cadiz, Celta Vigo, Getafe, Girona, Granada, Las Palmas, Mallorca, Osasuna, Real Vallecano. Then you got the Reals, Betis, Madrid, and Sociedad, Sevilla, Valencia, and Villarreal.
I've not heard about 7 of them,
Really?
genuinely.
Wow. Just goes to
I
show
told you
that
it's bad.
some players just like playing football and not
Yeah,
watching football, don't
yeah,
they?
Yeah, literally.
All right, well, that was the last of the interviews we've done this season. So thank you to all the Dereham players and thank you to both
Pleasure.
of you
Not
for
a
doing it.
problem.
I know this has been the
Not a
second time
problem.
we put you through this.
That's right.
Yeah, but a much happier season this time.
Yeah, I'm not happy. Yeah.
All right, but thanks for your time, Charlie.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Good luck
Appreciate it.
today.
Thank you.
Good luck today, mate. Thanks for your
Cheers, thank
time.
you.
Cheers, Greg.
Cheers.